Dean, I have to ask you because I know again the audience is going to be intrigued by this. I mean, you've been in the game for a while, so you've got to see it kind of go through its sort of changes where now it does seem like this sort of ideologically possessed institution, sort of, if you will. What has been sort of your experience seeing kind of the direction that Hollywood has sort of gone, especially considering that you are very vocal and you're unapologetic about who it is that you are, and we let me say this, we do see that out of a lot of people in Hollywood. It just happens to be on the other side of things. But I just want you to for sure give us your experience on this.
Well, it's a very weird thing, Eric, because if you go back through time, look at these artists, Hollywood, they're supposed to be the rebels, right? You're supposed to be the rebels. You're the ones speaking truth to power. You're the ones that are supposed to be fighting for everybody's rights and those sorts of things. Well, it's kind of gotten flipped on its head. It's gotten completely flipped around. And, if you support family values, if you support, Christianity, if you support good morals, if you support the United States of America, if you support law enforcement officers, if you like to stand up for the flag of the United States of America, you're now a rebel. You're an outcast. You're the exact opposite of what it used to be. And it's a weird thing for a guy like me who isn't, Eric, you and I are both athletes, and athletes, it's about merit. I don't care if you're black, white, green, yellow, tall, Mexican. If you can run 400 meters faster than me, which Gabe, you cannot. If that can happen, take you, old man. Okay. Then you should be on that 400, that 800 meter or whatever, the mile relay team. You should be running the 400. You should be doing those things. It's about merit. I'm an athlete. I played football forever. I don't care where you come from or what language you speak or what religion you practice. We are brothers on the field, and we're going to do it together. And that's teamwork. And that's the stuff that I've grown up living and being part of my life. My morals and my values, while I have certainly done some things I'm not proud of, they've been pretty consistent and pretty solid all the way through. They haven't changed with the wind. And I'm a very educated young man. I did go to Princeton. I played football there. I ran track there. I played volleyball there. But when I got into the world I grew up in the world of film and television. My dad is a director. All the kids that I grew up with, Rob Lowe, Sean Penn, Chris Penn, Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, Holly Robinson. These are all the kids that I grew up with. And, it's interesting to watch them hit their levels of fame. And honestly, goodness, I don't think anybody's really changed much for who they were back in the day. But we all, let's say we have some differing opinions. But I'm still friends with all those guys. I couldn't disagree more with a lot of the things that Sean Penn says politically, but he's like family to me. Our parents were best friends, but we can have those conversations. And part of the things that's happened now in Hollywood is you can't have those conversations. If you do say something like, I stand up for law enforcement because I happen to be a deputy sheriff, then, that's seen as, oh my gosh, that's why, how could you, police are all terrible, all ACAB and all this stuff. And you're like, you're out of your mind. Yeah, there's been some bad situations. There's been some stuff not so great. And we always strive to be a more perfect union here in the United States. But I mean, even look at the three of us, right? I mean, we couldn't look or be any more different. We're for everything, but we all are collaborating because we're in that same place. We want to do things of quality. We want to do things of merit. We want to do things that are, frankly, unwoke and straightforward. And because of that, the three of us are outcasts, which is funny because, I think the truth is we are the majority. I think most people have that common sense and understand people of integrity speaking their minds and holding true to their beliefs. And I hope that, well, in your case, it's already happened a lot, Eric, and you've had tremendous success. I wish you nothing but more success. Fortunately for me, I have achieved a level of success where I'm kind of not able to be canceled. And I just keep working and keep going. And I have so many projects happening. I left LA. I moved to Nevada. I'm happy as a clam. It's just things have gone very well, but it's weird how the kind of the McCarthyism from the old days has manifested itself again. I think in Hollywood, we're going to look back at this and hopefully we'll be as embarrassed as we were about the blacklisting from the McCarthy days.
Yeah, it's for sure intriguing watching all this shit kind of unfold. And I've had the opportunity to talk to people that have been a part of the industry. And especially you both, you know him, and we've discussed kind of the similar thing and how it's just the dynamics have shifted a lot, right? And it's if nothing else, I mean, it is affording us this opportunity for people to kind of come up with these sort of alternatives to let's say the Hollywood regime. So I mean that's a positive. But I love what you bring up, because I think we can all feel each other on this aspect of like maybe us coming from sports kind of having a lot to do with why we do believe in merit, and why it is easy for us to have conversations and discussions with folks that may be on a different side of, I mean, that's an inevitable thing that you deal with, especially when you're being coached, right? Inevitable thing that you're going to deal with as an athlete. I mean, to the nth degree, it's just, you can't really get away from that. And maybe that is part of it. But a lot of this sort of attitude that we see out of not just Hollywood, Gabe and I, we experience in comics, you know what I mean? It's sort of catty, kind of weird shit that I'm just being completely honest. I don't know if I'm gonna ever get used to that, right? Like, it's not like, 'cause that's not my thing. That's not my style. That's not where even from a cultural perspective, where it is that I come from. So when I see that shit, I'm like, that stuff is weird, man. But y'all will let it seemingly ruin your industry, sort of having that attitude, that unfortunately it doesn't really even lend itself to building sort of a marketplace where creativity is even able to sort of thrive, right? I mean, I think that's why a lot of the mundane sort of experiences that you get with a lot of the entertainment that people are digesting sort of comes from that. I mean, everybody's holding these ideological guns to each other, waiting to fucking cancel each other. And how could you possibly do your best work under those particular conditions? You're under some harsh conditions. You're not going to do your best work when it's like, hell, I might say something and I might lose my job. I might be off of this gig, or I might be out. Like, you can't possibly, you act your best, write your best, do anything your best, draw your best, whatever it may be. You can't do your best work under those conditions. So I think that's also why the quality itself is also suffering. Alpha Core #1's pre-order is live. Written by the legendary Chuck Dixon and penciled by Joe Bennett. Visit Rippaverse.com to grab a copy and any of the merchandise items. Be sure to also check out the animated trailer for the campaign, which is the latest project from Rippaverse Studios. Y'all be easy.